Hello, everyone. In this English episode, we will be focusing on English conversation. Listening to English conversation is an essential part of improving your English language skills. It can help you improve your listening, speaking, and comprehension skills.
Our topic is the importance of English speaking skills in school education.
Hey Robin, how's your English practice going?
It's going well. But I wish I could improve my English speaking skills at school. If only we had more opportunities to practice there.
Absolutely right. I feel the same way. If we could practice English from an early age, we'd become fluent much faster.
True. So, Ronica, how do you think we can solve this problem?
Well, there are several ways to address this issue. But here's the sad part. In many schools, even the teachers struggle with English. How can they effectively help students?
You're right. I've heard stories about teachers who can't speak English fluently themselves.
Absolutely. The first step to improving this situation is to train the teachers themselves. If they can't speak well, how can they effectively guide students?
Makes sense. But what's the second solution you mentioned?
Well, let's call it the English environment approach. Imagine if teachers spent a portion of their class time speaking only in English. For instance, they could dedicate at least 5 minutes of each session to conversing exclusively in English with the students.
Interesting idea. Do you think it'll really work?
I'm confident it will. Consistent exposure to English during class time will help students become more comfortable with the language. Plus, it encourages teachers to improve their own English skills too.
Wow, that's impressive. Now tell me, how were your teachers in school? Did they ever speak with you in English?
Certainly. My teachers were quite proficient in English speaking, but I was too shy to engage with them. Sometimes the teacher would converse with me in English, but I'd get nervous every time. It's funny. I used to dislike English back then. Ha ha ha.
Seriously? I can't believe it. Look at you now. You're so good at English.
Thank you. I had to practice a lot, and I'm still learning,
Why did you hate English initially?
Well, one day my father and I were at the market, and we bumped into one of my teachers, a friend of my father's. He asked me a question in English, and I couldn't understand it. I felt so embarrassed in front of my father. That incident made me dislike English, but later I realized I was wrong.
What an amazing story. So, what did you do afterward?
I decided to change my perspective. I started loving the English language. I learned new words and practiced speaking. I even read English books aloud to improve my pronunciation. Learning new words is like collecting ingredients for a recipe. Just as you need the right ingredients to cook a delicious meal, you need a rich vocabulary to express yourself effectively in English. But it doesn't stop there. Knowing the words is one thing. Knowing how to use them in sentences and conversations is equally important.
I understand, Ronica. It's not just about having the ingredients. It's about knowing how to blend them together to create something meaningful. Similarly, mastering English involves not only learning words, but also understanding their context and using them appropriately.
Absolutely. I vividly recall my high school days. Our teachers would give us vocabulary lists to memorize from the textbook. However, the catch was that we rarely used those words in actual sentences or conversations. As a result, I struggled to retain them in my memory.
You're right. We never practiced using those words in context. It's no wonder they didn't stick with us. The key is to apply new vocabulary in real-life situations to reinforce our understanding and retention.
You're absolutely right. It's frustrating how teachers often focus solely on exam scores rather than practical language skills. Even though we've been learning English since our school days, many of us still struggle to speak it fluently.
Ha 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 ha, yes. It's funny, but painfully true. We're all in the same boat, trying to navigate the English language.
Let me share an incident. One day, a teacher asked someone to speak in English in front of the entire class. Nobody volunteered. But eventually, one brave girl stepped forward and impressed the teacher. The catch? She had memorized her lines beforehand.
Memorization isn't the best approach. It's much better to express ourselves spontaneously.
Exactly. Students often treat English like it's rocket science, fearing every word they utter. But really, it's about practice and confidence.
So true, Ronika. We need to break free from that fear and embrace the language. Let's keep practicing.
If you have watched the video till now, it means that you are truly committed to improving your English. And the good news is that your efforts are paying off as you are making progress towards your goal. Keep up the great work. Our aim is to help you enhance your English skills. To achieve this goal, we recommend practicing the new words that were used in this conversation. We kindly request that you not skip the video, as it is crucial to learning new words regularly. Consistent practice is essential for improving your vocabulary and overall language proficiency. Let's work together to improve your English. Our sentence:
We need to break free from that fear and embrace the language.
certainly. In simple terms, when we say embrace, we mean to welcome, accept, and adopt something willingly. So the phrase break free from that fear and embrace the language suggests overcoming any fear related to language and being open to accepting and using it with a positive and welcoming attitude.
It's much better to express ourselves spontaneously.
Spontaneously means doing something in a natural and unplanned way, without much thought or preparation. It happens on the spur of the moment, without deliberate intention or premeditation. So if you do something spontaneously, you're doing it impulsively and without a lot of advance planning.
It's no wonder they didn't stick with us.
Wonder is used to express surprise or amazement. When the speaker says it's no wonder they didn't stick with us, they are suggesting that it's not surprising that those words didn't stay in their memory or become familiar. The use of wonder implies that there is a logical reason or explanation for the lack of retention or practice with those words.
If you found the video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.